Welcome to LitFit, a channel for introducing English language arts teachers to resources, lesson ideas, projects, and valuable teaching material. My name is Lynn, and today I'm here to discuss how I design a criminal mock trial in my ELA classroom. Alright, just a quick note, this is just one approach to teaching. Designing a mock trial, there is extensive research out there for you all to check out, so take what you can use and whatever you can't, just leave it on this video. And if you're interested in purchasing this project, it is available on my Teachers Pay Teacher store, as well as other resources, free and paid for. So the first thing I do when I'm designing a criminal mock trial is decide the standards that I want to cover. I generally use the argument standards. However, if I'm going to do multiple criminal mock trials within a school year, then I choose a different standard the next time. So you can focus on characterization, and students can examine the actions that led the protagonist or antagonist to being on trial. You can focus on the impact of setting on a character, which leads to the crime, or you can focus on citing textual evidence. So you want to decide what standards you're going to use and then teach those standards to the student. And then after that, I choose the text and we read the text as a class. So for the purpose of this, I'm going to be using The Telltale Heart, which is one of my favorite criminal mock trials. So Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe, and I think a lot of his work actually fits perfectly with designing a mock trial because you have mystery and tension and suspense and crime. So Poe is a really good option if you're looking for text. And then after we read the text, I annotate the text while I'm designing it, and then I model how to annotate the text with students. So with The Telltale Heart, I drew a line in the middle of the text, and on the left side I wrote insane, and on the right side I wrote sane, and we would highlight the different pieces of evidence in the text that would go for one or the other category, and we would write notes in the margins explaining why it fit in one or the other category. So then after that, we storyboard the text for a sequence of events. So we just took the first 7 days and wrote down the different things that occurred in those days, such as the narrator waking up nightly at 12 o'clock to check on the old man and opening the door. And then on the 8th night, we listed everything that occurred on that night. So I found that it's really helpful is the students are given an opportunity to put the events in order so that when they get to the mock trial part, they'll be able to effectively ask questions. So then after that, we're a STEAM school. So we look at science, technology, engineering, art, math, and medicine. And I thought it would be a great idea for the students to research mental illnesses because the man claims that he's not mad in The Telltale Heart. So I wanted students to go and see if any of the actions that he took in that text would prove it one way or the other, that he was actually insane, or that he was sane as he stated he was. So the students looked that up and we kind of talked about it, shared what we found in our research, and I provided a sheet for them to use for that. And after they researched the mental illnesses, they took time out to look at the roles. So I gave them a choice between some roles, and they were the judge, bailiff, jury, prosecuting attorneys, defense attorneys, protagonists, psychiatrists, policemen, and neighbors. So I told them what the job descriptions were, and I put cards up on the board so that they could see what they had to do if they decided to take that role. And after that, the students ended up signing up for a role on Sign Up Genius. So I sent it out so that it would be fair and they all had the opportunity to sign up. And then I capped the roles based on how many I needed for the position. And then they spent time conducting research on their roles. So the judge had a sheet that the judge used to conduct research on what it is to be a judge, how much judges get paid, so the salary, the educational background, just different things, and each student had an individual sheet based on their role. All right, and then after they finished preparing or researching information about their roles, they began to prepare for the case. So for the case, they each were given another individual sheet. So the lawyers were given a sheet to prepare for questioning witnesses on the stand. The judge was given a sheet to prepare for objections and sentencing. And the jury was given a sheet to research information on verdicts. So each of them had information based on their role in the trial. And then after they finished preparing for the case, I gave them a script. And this is what we use to conduct the trial. So they were given a script. We rehearsed what each person was doing for each part, and we conducted the trial. So my class is a 60-minute class period. So it generally takes us about 2 days to conduct the trial. We usually video it so they can watch it later. And during the trial part, so after the lawyers ask questions and the judge does their part, the jury ends up going out of the class for a few minutes and reflecting on arguments and making a decision. All right, while they're doing that, the class is working on their own part. So they're reflecting on information until the jury gets back. They come back in, jury comes back in, and then we sort of give the sentencing at that point. All right, and then the last part of this is the class sits in a circle or at a round table, and they work on just looking at whether or not the arguments were strong, whether the evidence was strong, what they believed could have been better during the trial, what was done really well. And we have a really good, nice discussion about the arguments in the case, and we wrap it up by just reviewing how to evaluate an argument. And I just want to say, this is just one approach to designing a criminal mock trial. I would love to hear your ideas on what text you use that would be interesting, or what do you do different in your criminal mock trials. So feel free to list them in a comment section below so that we can have a board of research sources for new and veteran teachers. Have a wonderful day.